How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and today we're going to be playing the second mission in the third mini-campaign for Stronghold Crusader HD called Tyre, Drawing the Line.
After the setback at Belvoir, Saladin sets out on the long march to Tyre.
Well, that was brief.
The few who have survived Saladin's campaign are taking refuge and are provisioning at Tyre. Saladin is still a good distance away, but is not without influence in the region, so expect trouble.
Okay, let's get started. We need to acquire 1,500 bread to complete this mission. And we have a full stockpile, so to avoid wasting any resources early on, I'm just going to slow things down here a little bit. So there you kind of get an idea of the sort of castle we occupy, and one of the things you'll learn about this mission is food resources are a bit limited. We can't go ahead and buy our food. So we can't buy the wheat, we're going to have to grow it. How are we going to grow it? We have to grow it over here on this land. So I'm going to try to get as many of these wheat farms as possible on here. Oh, let's undo that. So the one important thing to remember is that when you are, that tree is going to be in the way, isn't it? Oh, it just barely wasn't. And one of the important things to remember about playing single player, basically, is you can undo buildings. So you have a certain grace period after placing it, where you have the opportunity to click the undo button, and you'll be refunded the full cost of the resources used to build that building, as opposed to clicking delete, in which case you only get half of them back. So I was a little bit worried when I saw that tree pop up there. I thought I might actually be blocked out from placing the farms I wanted, but as it turned out, everything was just fine. But we're also going to want more woodcutters' huts, so I think 9 is a good start. We definitely need wood to build the economy, maybe 9, 10, 11. It depends. I don't think we have to get too big in this mission. There's not a whole lot of impetus for us to grow too quickly or too large. Then again, bigger is always better, isn't it? So maybe I'm just completely off about that. So another thing that we need to do is start working on our ale production. So we currently have an inn going. We don't have any ale yet, but we have plenty of hops. So as we get more wood to come in, I think a hops farm will be in order. But for now, I think instead, with a little bit of wood, well, okay. I was going to say with the little bit of wood we have left, I would like to start producing bows. One of the problems of this mission is going to be the fact that I can't actually buy leather armor. That's going to make things complicated if we want to do crossbows. So I think archer spam just might be the most viable solution here. Okay, we got some wood coming in, and I would like to start building a wall around this area, because if I don't, what's going to happen is when Saladin attacks, he's going to set all of my wheat farms on fire. And we don't want that. So there's quite a bit of wood being invested over here. Okay, do you have wood coming in? Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's get started with those weapons workshops. We can't. Still don't have enough, okay. But we do need some more stone, so I'm gonna delete some of these tall lookout towers. What are they called? Just out of curiosity, they're called lookout towers. Yeah, it's it's been a little bit since we played Stronghold Crusader and built lookout towers, so I kind of forgot what they were called. But then again, I didn't forget what they're called. I just sort of doubted my knowledge on the subject, more or less. But we want to get the gatehouse set up like that, get the archers on top of it. That should provide a little bit of protection to start with. I would also like to build a hops farm or 2, probably 2, considering how far or how distant it is from the castle. Most likely we're not going to be getting our crops in that amount of time. We also started with some spears, but I'm not going to be producing any more of those. We would like to increase our food production. So as soon as those 2 bakers deposit their bread, I think, well, okay, we can start building right now. So a few more bakeries, like 3 more. Then we can turn down rations. How are we looking? Okay, just slow this down a little bit more. I want to make sure everything's under control here. +6 ale coverage. Let's build another hovel. So I'm planning on like +4 for the ale coverage, and then we're going to be offsetting. Yeah, so some popularity. So I reduced food rations, and then we're also going to tax a little bit so we can get some gold coming in. I would also like to build a tower. I think a defense turret is about the right size. Preferably right about here, I think. Like that. And we'll connect it via low wall. So I enclosed this entire area here with low wall because the cost for low walls is significantly less than if I build traditional walls. And as you can see, we don't have any stone easily accessible around here. The closest stone is up in the far right corner. Okay, we have Arabian forces attacking. Let's see where they came from. Okay, they came from way up here. Not that difficult, just a bunch of slaves and some horse archers and slingers. So given the forces that I have, the biggest threat is probably the horse archers at this point. Maybe I should just put everything in this tower. No, actually stay in the tower, guys. Right. We can also build a couple ballistas. Didn't end up deleting those bakeries, so we're just going to leave them there. And we're going to want some engineers to man those tower ballistas. So as you can see here, the slaves and the horse archers just pretty much ran by, but we did manage to protect our valuable wheat farms from the slaves. They went after my woodcutters' huts here instead, which is just fine because they'll burn themselves to death, hopefully. Hopefully the majority of them will die in those flames before they actually get to my my hops farms. So those woodcutters did no, just one? Really? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, as soon as he starts himself on fire, I think we can delete it. There we go. Before it spreads to our second one. And then also we get half the resources back. So that's it's always a good cheesy tactic to use. Rebuild those woodcutters' huts. And all of the horse archers are dead as well. So that attack was easy enough. One of the things that we need now are more Fletchers, but there's not enough wood. So speed this back up. Probably want a couple more brewers as well. I don't think the one that we have there is sufficient. At least at that distance. Yeah, so this is plenty of farms. Oh, okay. Popularity is falling a bit. Let's turn taxes down by a smidge. Yeah, so -4 from food, -2 from tax. We're offsetting the food with the ale and offsetting the tax with religion, but not quite sufficiently enough. So if we're getting like +4 from religion, everything would be hunky-dory. But as it turns out, we're only getting +3, so we're going to have to fidget with the tax rate from time to time to keep everybody happy and coming in, basically, to the castle. I'd like to build another windmill. I don't think I have enough. As you can see, we have 32 wheat piling up already, and I'd really like to build some more Fletchers at this point. We only have one so far, and I think we're falling a little bit behind in producing weapons. I've been focusing too much on the nonsense, like building. I don't know. Maybe it's just building those additional bakeries. I'm not sure we needed them. More wood is needed. Come on, woodcutters, where are you? I guess they pretty much cleared this area out. I probably should just delete most of these now. Yeah. Down 12 wood. Okay. We buy wood then. This is ridiculous. Falling behind here because of my woodcutters not doing their jobs. Well, not doing their jobs as efficiently as I'd like them to do their jobs. So there's like 3 woodcutters. Let's replace them. There should be some more trees over here. 34 wood. Let's do one more woodcutter. And there was a farmer there. So overall, as you can see, the farms, once I put that wall up around them, pretty much the threat of them being burnt down is no longer an issue. It no longer exists, basically. I want these spearmen out front, just in case we get hit with something a little bit more substantial. But now we have 5 Fletchers. I think that's a decent number. And the granary needs to be expanded. So the fact that we're going... How much did that hold? Yeah, 250. So there we go, 500. Kid, get out of the way. 1,000. Those bakers disappeared because they can't pathfind around your granaries. And then like 1,000. Okay, 1,250. And one more is one wood needed. We need one more, basically, to hold the entirety of the bread that we're going to be producing to win this mission once and for all. I think we'd like to build another Fletchers, though, yeah. Wood need is going to be a meme in this one, isn't it? Give me wood. Give me liberty or give me wood. I'll take the wood. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure why they suggested me building or buying hops in the tips. Plenty of land to go around. The only danger is the Arabian slaves burning it down. And I think that's easy enough to defend against, really. As you saw, I just put some walls around it. The invasions themselves don't seem to target those walls. They'll go for your castle instead. So that's why we need the archers. Because by and large, you know, the kind of forces that the Arabians will throw against you aren't as well armored as their European counterparts. So, like, archer spam strats are by far more viable. Like, if they were going to be attacking me, I mean, the attack here is really nothing. It's just some horse archers. It's like a bit more of what we had before. But if for example, we were being attacked by European troops and they had stuff like pikemen or swordsmen, and all of a sudden archers are so very inefficient against those types of troops that... Oh, look, all my farmers are non-existent. Yeah, but archers are so ineffective against those types of troops that it's a losing strategy if you go for it. Oh, we have quite a few bows now. And how is the wheat looking? Pretty good. Probably want to build some more bakers. Should I delete the church? I don't think so. So what is going on here? We're only getting +1 from religion because I'm recruiting a lot. And that means we're losing 1 popularity per month or so. It's more than that. The way that popularity works in this game is kind of goofy. So you might be aware in like Stronghold Crusader 2, Firefly actually implemented the popularity system that they sort of developed for Stronghold Kingdoms into that game. And by and large, it makes a lot more sense to me than the popularity system in these older games. So basically, if you have over zero popularity, any positive popularity is good, and any negative popularity is bad. So instead of hitting the 50 mark, in other words, 50 being the limit basically, as to when your peasants start leaving the castle, we had 0 being the cutoff point. And I just think that it's a lot more intuitive, basically. I'm not exactly sure if it was changed in any other way. I'm trying to remember. I just remember the number itself being changed to be based around 0. You know, it's like comparing the Celsius or the Celsius measurement thing. Because here in the United States we use Fahrenheit, right? Freedom degrees, I think, is the common insult levied towards that system. But anyway, if you think about the metric system, it's based around 10, of course. So freezing is at 0 and boiling is at 100, whereas with Fahrenheit you have freezing at 32, which is just a goofy number. And that's sort of the way that things worked here in Stronghold. The original 2 or 3 Strongholds, I think that it was the same in Stronghold 2 as well. Hopefully we're going to be getting some more interesting attacks pretty soon. So those slaves, they managed to burn down the... Hey, is that a slave still standing? There's still a slave standing there. Interesting. His pathfinding must be bugged. But they didn't get after any of the woodcutters huts over here by my hops farms. Interestingly enough.
We await orders.
How are we doing? Almost 33% done. So we have so much wheat. So much wheat. I should be leveraging this much better than I am. Yeah, so you see I put this bakery here, but since peasants can walk kitty corner through things, that's not actually a choke point, even though you might think it would be.
Leaving now.
I want to get some more archers over there in the defense tower, and you know, maybe I should just build another inn. How are we looking in terms of hops? So not that good. We need more hops, but we do have 6 ale. Yeah, so 52 is the... Is it 52? It might be 58. 58 might be the cutoff point. Let's try this once. In terms of the inn and the popularity it provides, we've talked about this before. Turning off taxes so we can get popularity back up a bit. But I'm pretty sure... Wait, it's 60? Okay, that's not going to work. I'm pretty sure it's going to fall too far now. 51... 50... Nope. It'll hold at 60. So that's interesting. I never tried that before because usually I don't have this keep. This keep provides more housing than the other keeps do. And basically what happened was I didn't know. I thought, what was it, 56? I thought 56 was the cutoff point for the inn. In other words, you'd have 50%. I can't think with him talking. You'd have 50% ale population coverage with 58, 56 peasants. But as it turns out, it actually works all the way up to 60. So it's somewhere in between 58 and 56, and I forget how, and like 64 population. I'm a bit cloudy minded at the moment. It is early in the morning. So here we have a new attack. This one actually comes from the south, and we also have some Arabian swordsmen. But yeah, they're going to burn down my economy here, which is a bit sad because I really did need those hops. And we're not going to get them now. Okay. No, I should have set these swordsmen to defensive. I mean, not swordsmen. The spearmen, they all got massacred. Oh my goodness, we have a battering ram here. Take that down as quickly as possible. You might have noticed I didn't bother with the pitch, and that's really because there was no need for it. So pitch is great against the heavily armored kind of units, like we're talking about European swordsmen and pikemen, but against Arabian swordsmen of this small number, you don't need it. You really don't. Popularity is back up. Let's start taxing again. There's 20 archers. Yeah, so here are the Arabian swordsmen. What can they do? They're going to hit our gatehouse a couple times, but by and large, didn't do much damage, did they? That's the one thing I really didn't understand about Stronghold Crusaders missions. I've mentioned it before, but they're relatively easy compared to Stronghold HD. Largely because Stronghold HD had different difficulty settings, and I'm still not sure why Stronghold Crusader doesn't. It's a bit baffling. Like, the thing about difficulty settings is usually they just tweak the number of goods you need to acquire to win, or the size of the invasions. So it's simply a multiplier, a number multiplier that needs to be added to the mix. It's not like you have to redesign the entire scenario around the idea that it's going to be harder. Of course, you might want to test it to make sure it's balanced and that people can actually complete it. But by and large, there's not a whole lot of effort that should have to or need to go into making additional difficulties for these scenarios in Stronghold Crusader. That archer needs to go on top of the gatehouse.
Our granary stocks are growing.
Granary stocks. We have more than enough gold.
stocks grow
So what are we going to do instead here?
People worship you, sire.
Why do we have so much popularity?
The people worship you, sire.
+3 from religion. Oh yeah, and then we also had the... Yeah, okay, we're just going to turn off rations now. So we had... With this many peasants being around the campfire in one location, it's actually still possible for this one priest to adequately service them. So that's why we're getting a fair amount of popularity off of that. Well,
The people
yeah,
worship
we're getting +2 popularity from him blessing those peasants, and then we're getting +1 popularity in the religion category from it being a church. So, for those of you who don't know, cathedrals provide a passive +2 popularity popularity of whether or not they have a priest running them, and the church provides the passive +1 popularity regardless of whether or not there's a priest running it. The chapel doesn't, though. So, you know, the reason you'd build a cathedral, or the reason you'd build a chapel over a cathedral, is because a cathedral costs 4 times as much. It's like some nice free popularity with 0 downsides.
orders.
So when I do this, it's going to tank my, like, blast rate. Maybe it's not. I was thinking because I recruited so many peasants from around the campfire, the blessed people rate or percentage would go down significantly, but it really
Is
didn't.
yours. Moving off.
So, I guess my theory on that was a bit off. Yeah, it dropped down to 31. I know usually recruiting takes a very big toll on the percentage blessed of the population because the peasants around the campfire are the easiest for the priest to bless in mass. So basically, you have the priest, he runs around, he blesses some peasants, and then he goes back to his church. So now you take a look at where he would have to go. He has to walk all the way out here to bless the farmers working on the wheat farms versus the short walk to the peasants there in front of the campfire. And apparently the way the prioritization for these buildings works is first the priest will bless the peasants that are as close to the cathedral as possible, or in this case the church, which would make sense. And then after those peasants are all blessed, then they'll walk out here to the more far-flung areas. But since we have so many peasants around the campfire, I don't think the priest is ever going out there. He's pretty much just standing around here all the time. It'd be interesting just to keep an eye on that. So we have another attack coming from the south. Oh, I just realized. So we don't have any hops left, so I should probably buy some at this point. And we're also running out of wood because all of my woodcutters' huts have been burnt down at this point. Okay. Yeah, I probably should be focusing on the attack, but honestly, I'm pretty confident. Oh, they burnt down one of the final woodcutters' huts, stuck outside the walls there, next to the wheat farms. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of slaves, but the problem is they can't do much damage if you have walls. So they wanted to make this interesting. You should have prevented you from building walls, I think. Why is everybody so unhappy? Not enough religion coverage. Apparently a lot of people lost their religion when the gatehouse shut. We're up to 27%.
The people love you.
So it balanced out now. Did I buy some hops? Yeah, I did. Okay. So we don't have any wood left. Not that it matters. I should just turn all these off anyway. We have plenty of archers. Did those engineers come out of nowhere? Because it was like all of a sudden they popped onto the map. I suppose they just stood up. They were blending in so well when they were sitting down, and then they stood up. I should have built more bakeries. Look at that, 74. We have 74 flour available. And none of these are doing bread things with that flour. That was a real loss of opportunity there. I mean, we could have nailed it in much less time if I just stopped fooling around and actually built the bakeries for once in my life. Not the most efficient, but we're going to get it done. The reason I play these is mostly for the fun of it. Like, I'm not trying to do speed runs or anything like that. Obviously, because the missions they're not too easy to speed run. They're just, in general, they're not really a challenge. So it's more of a chill playthrough than anything else, where you can talk about some of the game and stuff like that. So anyway, that completes mission number 2 in the 3rd mini campaign in Stronghold Crusader HD. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I hope to see you next time.